Hi everyone, and welcome back to John's Wrestling Thoughts of the Week. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope everyone is okay. Hope everyone is doing well during this current time. Wrestling Thoughts of the Week, to be honest, it's dominated by one thing this week, and that one thing, sadly, is the releases that took place from WWE on Wednesday night, UK time. It was crazy. It was absolutely nuts. I was looking at Twitter, just at home, chilling out after working all day, and suddenly I saw Drake Maverick been released, and I went to the WWE website. Sure enough, it was on there, and then it mentioned the Gallows, it mentioned Carl Anderson, and then this list just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it was, Heath Slater, Zack Ryder, Cole Hawkins, Rusev, Kurt Angle, Aiden English, Sarah Logan, Epico Primo. I mean, it just didn't stop, and it was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'd never seen anything like it. It was horrible, horrible thing. Every time I picked up my phone, there was another notification with, saying somebody else had been released, and extremely sad and a horrible, horrible day in professional wrestling. It really was. I felt awful for all those people that got let go. They are all great talents. They've all got fantastic talent, others that wouldn't have been in WWE to begin with. And it was very, very sad to see so many be let go. So many people, through no fault of their own, through this horrible, horrible situation we're all having to live through at the moment. It was gutting. It was really, really gutting. And seeing the video of Drake Maverick, Rockstar Spud, who has been a huge part of the independent scene here in the UK, massive part of the UK independent scene. I worked on some shows there many years ago, and he was a nice guy, really, really good to me, and it was good to kind of get to know him a little bit. I'm not going to say I know him, but very well, I don't, but the time I was around him, he was a nice guy, and I then saw him at Progress. I saw him at Progress in Birmingham. I saw him, I think it was Birmingham. I saw him at loads of other UK independents. Saw him in Impact Wrestling. Did all his great work there, and then in his transition across then to WWE, and he achieved his dream, and that can never be taken away from him. And I hope he realizes that he achieved his dream, and that's huge. That's awesome. And nobody can ever take that away from you. You achieved your dream of working in WWE. It may not be as long, maybe, that you wanted, but I hope that you take pride in the fact that you did make it to WWE, and you did do some things in the biggest wrestling company in the world. So Rockstar Spud, Drake Maverick, really hit hard home for me. Being one of the UK guys, it hit hard, and it was very, very sad to see his video. You see how much he cared. You see how much emotion he had in his voice, in his eyes. Just really, really sad thing to see. So I hope he's doing okay. He will be fine once he's, through this, through these 30 days or whatever it is, and then this virus thing is gone. There's going to be plenty of work for him. Plenty. He is a tremendous talent, tremendous person. He will be back up on his feet and up and running in no time flat. So I wish him all the best. Also, there's so many other people. Zack Ryder, Cole Hawkins, Gallows, Anderson, Aiden English, Heath Slater, Rusev, Kurt Angle, Sarah Logan. Just so many people. And so many more I'm not even mentioning. I mean, just going through that list, I mean, Gallows and Anderson, they were just in the Boneyard match at WrestleMania. They were just with AJ Styles. Now Gallows and Anderson are gone, and suddenly they're back on the independent scene again. And it's insane to me. To me, they're a fantastic tag team. Fantastic wrestlers. Again, I met Gallows very, very briefly in 2013 at a Pro Wrestling Report event. Lovely guy, and just said hello to him. But he seemed like a really lovely guy. And again, it's horrible that these people that, like I said, met very briefly into things. You got a bit of a personal connection to. You seem to have to leave, the job that they love, and that's very, very sad. But I'm sure Gallows and Anderson will have a place in New Japan Wrestling once everything is back up and running. I'm sure they'll have a place there. As founding members of the Bullet Club, They would be a fantastic addition to New Japan right now. They would be an amazing addition back into New Japan. I hope that we get to see them there again, because that would be absolutely awesome to see them back. So I hope Gallus and Anderson are okay. I hope they'll be all right, and I really hope. And I'm excited. I have hope, and I'm excited to see what they do next. Did see that they're doing, I think, a Patreon for their podcast. So check out Luke Gallows' Twitter for that as well. Also, guy like Zack Ryder, been with WWE so long, did so many good things. Z True Long Island Story. That was one of the biggest things, I think, before being the Elite. Z True Long Island Story was one of the biggest things on YouTube, and WWE ruined it. And it was so sad because Zack Ryder had done so much work. If you remember, I think it was Survivor Series 2014. I think it was Rock and Cena versus Miz and R-Truth, I think was the main event. And the crowd at the end of the show, they were chanting, "We want Ryder, woo, 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 we want Ryder." And at The Rock, they were chanting, "We want Ryder" at The Rock. And WWE just ignored it. And it's so sad because he did so many good things. But let's not focus on the negative. He also won titles. He won the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania, which I know meant the world to him. And that will be a WrestleMania moment he can cherish going forward. You know, I really enjoyed it. Also, guys like Heath Slater. I remember his stuff he did with the Legends. That was really cool. One of the original members of Nexus. His stuff with Rhino, maybe Heath Slater will have a place in Impact Wrestling, because it'd be cool to see him do some stuff with Rhino again. So I feel sad for Heath Slater as well, because I thought he, good entertainer. Rusev, I've got to mention Rusev. I have, because this guy is a complete legend. He donates $20,000 to WWE staff who've been laid off, and then 3 weeks later, WWE lay him off. Very, very sad thing to see. But do you know what? A stand-up guy, he did the right thing, and very, very sad to see him let go, because he, again, a guy that cared about the people he worked with, cared about the staff that weren't getting paid, donated some of his own money so that those staff could get paid, and not valued by WWE. And again, very, very, from my perspective, unfair. From their perspective, WWE's perspective, it's just business, pal. That's the way they look at it. But I don't know. I think that's a hard pill for me to swallow, because I think it's very unfair. That guy that actually gave some of his own money to help your own staff then is someone who ends up on the out. I just think it's really, really wrong. So Rusev, thank you for being a good guy. And again, best wishes to you, and best wishes to all of these talent that have been let go. There were so many. I think it was 24, as I said, in total. Very hard to go through every single person, but I do wish them all the best. It's a horrible situation to be in, and hopefully when the situation's over, they'll find homes in different wrestling promotions once it all starts up again. And also on top of that, maybe some will be rehired by WWE. I think a lot of these talents, sadly, are a victim of WWE's structure. WWE is a live event company. They make their money via live events. And sometimes WWE will have two crews working in different places in America. And a lot of these wrestlers that have been released would be on those live event crews and would be working those live events, generating that money and income for WWE. If you don't have the live events, then these wrestlers, they're then not being able to get paid because the money's not coming in to pay them. Obviously, there are other revenue streams to WWE, but I think a lot of it does come down to that live event structure. Sadly, a lot of those talents that we saw released, I mean, obviously, there's a few, Kurt Angle as an example, obviously not working the live events, but a lot of them were working that live event structure, and it wasn't necessarily, I think people focused too much on, oh, this guy was on TV and this guy wasn't on TV, and they didn't do much of this guy on TV, so it doesn't matter. It's not always about TV in WWE. It's also about live events. It's also about, media appearances, community engagement, all that type of thing. There's a lot more different facets to WWE than even I'll be able to understand, to be honest. But the people are in for different things, and they're not all just there for TV. Sometimes predominantly you'll see on a house show, but you maybe haven't seen on Raw in 6 weeks. You might see, again, conversely, the other way around. You might see somebody on Raw all the time, but you may never see them at a live event. So, it works both ways. It all depends how WWE want to use them. But I think it is. I think a lot of these people, sadly, are a victim of those live events now not going ahead, that income not coming in, and also who knows where live events are going to be even after all this is over. Because who's going to want to sit in a stadium of 10,000 people? For example, at a show, or even 5,000 people at a show. Who's going to want to do that after this when, there is no vaccine possibly? It's still a possibility that you could catch this virus. I wouldn't want to put myself in harm's way, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. So it's going to be hard for WWE because that traditional structure they had is not a structure they're going to be able to use in the future. They're going to have to change the way they do business, and that means a complete overhaul at WWE. I think at the moment they're doing what they can to save money, but I think actually there could be a big structural overhaul going into the future. So very, very interesting to seeing what's happening in WWE at the moment. Again, my best wishes, my heartfelt wishes go out to all of those talents. I wish them all the best. I hope they're all doing okay. I hope they're okay. I hope their families, their loved ones, their friends, they're all okay too. And I wish you all the best. No matter where you were in WWE, no matter whether you're on TV or not, whether you were part of the wrestling talent. And let's not forget, there was WWE staff at Stamford, Connecticut, who also got let go, who also lost their jobs. So don't forget also all those office staff that sadly don't have a job either. I'm wishing you all the very best. I'm going to leave it there for today because I could go on about this subject forever. There's so much more I could talk about. I may do a second video talking a bit more about WWE and their recent, as I said, decision making around maybe their essential business moniker in Florida and the morality around it, because I think there's morals in this business, and sometimes they don't always match up. So there may be a video for another day, but guys, I'm going to stop waffling. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you all look after yourselves, look after your family, make sure you follow the guidelines, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.